What's up, my friends? Matt Prince here from strengthcoachsecrets.com and Royal Fitness. Here today with another Q&A based piece for you, and this is all about the squats. So how to squat better, basically. It's not how to squat more weight. It's not how to squat, in a specific way or a powerlifting meet or anything like that. It's just how to move better. How to squat with more efficiency, more, form, and having everything just moving a little bit freer so it looks pretty, and all around you're going to squat more over the longer term, and you're going to be healthier and your joints will feel better. That's what this is all about. Now, this question's popped up a few times, so this is actually done for a few different guys in the gym who are working at home. We're in that isolation period, so I don't get to see them all the time, but they're sending through some videos and then stuff like that, so I can check in and say, hey, do this, fix this, change this. But one of the things that you want to look at first and foremost with the squat is, can you achieve the depth that you want to hit without weight? Okay, a lot of people tend to add more and more and more and more weight and squat higher and higher and higher and higher. And it's sort of, you can quarter squat more than you can half squat, and you can half squat more than you can deep squat. That makes sense. But if your goal is to squat deep, you just got to make sure that you can squat deep easily. Right? I know a lot of people that suck at squatting, and they suck at also bodyweight squatting in the warm-ups. Okay, you might find that when they're just squatting down just with their body weight, their backs are rolled over, they're super tight, their ankles or the heels might be pulling off the floor with tight ankles. There's a lot of things that are going on there. So you need to look at addressing these things first before you start trying to do it with weight, I suppose. And I know that sounds super obvious, but if you're a coach out there and you've skipped that step, go back and start teaching the people that step, right? If you're an athlete and you've skipped that step, go back and teach yourself that step. It's super important. And the things you can look at, if your heels are struggling to stay on the ground, right? You've got tight ankles, stretch your calves, roll your calves. In Royal, we've got our posters up on the wall that will give you all the mobility tools that you need. So it'll have like 4-part sequences to do before you squat or before you do lower body. You can do those things, right? And I'd recommend doing those things. Roll out your feet, roll out your Achilles, roll out your calves, make sure everything's free, and then stretch the shit out of your calves, right? And long term, it's using it as it's like a long-term plan type thing, right? A lot of people say that you shouldn't stretch before you lift, but this is gonna help you achieve a better position in that specific session. So look at it as like freeing up your ankles so you can squat, or freeing up your joints so you can squat better that day, right? And long term, over time, you won't need to do that shit anymore, right? You would have built in those really strong foundational movements, and you'll have better quality that you can keep using time and time again. So that's part number one, is make sure you can do it like body weight before you start adding weight. Okay, part two, you've got different bar setups that you can use. Now, you've obviously got your low bar squatting, and a lot of the Royal Fitness members know this, but for anyone who doesn't know about this stuff, this is key to understand. You've got high bar squats where the bar sits up on your traps, right? And you sit like Olympic lifter, it's sort of up here. You've got low bar squat where it's sort of sitting like mid-trap and on your rear delts as a shelf. There, you've obviously got your front squat. Now, these are the three main positions with a straight bar. We use safety bars, so you've got your safety squat bars, cambered bars where the weights are sitting down here. That changes the way the bar sits and the way it feels on your body and the way your body angles happen. But for now, we're just gonna focus on a straight bar because a lot of you guys at isolation only have access to those straight bars, right? So with the straight bar, if you are somebody who can't get depth well, like let's say you're here and you sort of lean forward, if you go in low bar squat, you're sticking your hips back, your hips don't quite break parallel and you want them to, generally what's going to happen is you probably got weak hamstrings, I would guess, and you've probably got a weak core in terms of positioning with the bar. Your lower back's probably really strong though. So like where you want, so if I'm here, right, and I'm squatting low bar, I can keep my body upright. I can pull myself down with my hamstrings, my glutes are strong, abs are tight, I can keep my chest up pretty high, right, and then I pop up. Now if I'm in a high bar squat like this, with my feet in a little bit closer, I can keep it even straighter, right? So my body can be even higher and straighter. What I find, a lot of people that are low bar, that are leaning forward in the low bar squat, when they go to high bar, it's really shitty, right? It's really hard because they find that they want to fall forward and they might roll in the upper back, or they might have tight hips or tight hamstrings, whatever it is. So my recommendation in that case is, if you're somebody who's folding forward in a low bar squat, is to get better at high bar squats, right? Practice them with your body upright. Practice, and your program week might look like this. Practice your low bar squat. get it, just work up to good quality. You might hit, say on the Monday you're doing it, say you're doing a Monday and a Thursday split or something like that, you're going heavy on the Monday. So the Monday you're going up and you're building up to a heavy 3, perfect quality, hitting below parallel, you're not adding weight to gain extra weight and losing depth or anything like that. Perfect 3. So you nail it. You might do 3 sets of that 3 if it feels really good, right? So you nail that. After that, you're going to go into high bar squats, three sets of 5. You know, chest up, make sure your core's there. I'd recommend pausing for these ones. So you're going down, you're going to hold at the bottom for 2 seconds, drive out, right? Go down, hold at the bottom for 2 seconds, drive out. Make sure that your upper back's locked in and you really, really tighten that upper back. That'll help stop folding forward, and make sure you're focusing on breathing into your belly and making sure your belly's really, really tight, knees are out, chest is up. Pretty high bar squats, okay? So that's part number 1, and you can add in, like that's Monday's program for day number 1. And you can add in extra things like Romanian deadlifts. I'd add in a lot of core work, whether it's rack carries, that's core and upper back. That's a really good one. Planks, ab wheels, all that sort of stuff. That'll help build up all of the muscles around your core and upper back to support that barbell as you progress with the squatting. Day 2, let's look at it from a different point of view. So you're going to focus on just high bar squats and front squats. Okay, so I'd do the same sort of thing. You might build up and do a couple of heavy sets of 3 to 5 on the high bar squat, and then after that you're going to do paused front squats. Okay, the front squats and the high bar squats, even if it's with kettlebells, like if you just do double kettlebell, the double kettlebell front squat's one of the best squatting variations, I believe. It's super hard on the upper back, super hard on the core, super hard on the legs. It actually pushes you deeper into a squat than the normal barbell back squat would. So it's a really, really good variation to build up the capacity to go back into deeper high bar squats or low bar squats once you're ready for it. All right, and I would focus on those things, and you can have that as part of your work, and you can add in more volume if you want to, but the focus is the same. Chest is up, knees are out, and hips are opening up at the bottom, so you get nice and deep. Okay, these movements will help build long-term, really, really good form in your squat. So that's some things to think about. Now, some other areas in the squat that I want to point out just before I move on and wrap all this up for you is if you do it differently every time, you're never going to squat well. You need to really focus on everything being exactly the same. This goes for all good lifts, all big lifts, and any lift in general, I believe. But if you look at it from like, all right, we're going to set up. First part of the setup is to grab the bar where you want your hands. Okay, pull yourself under, get it into position, whether it's low bar, high bar. I have different setups for both. Like with the high bar, I'm sort of pushing my traps up, making sure I'm really, really tight, and I get everything locked in before I go, and then I'll pop it out. Okay, when I'm low bar, I'm sort of like wiggling in because it hurts my shoulders a lot. Wiggling in, I'm bringing my hands in, getting it tight, lock my abs in, and pop it out. Okay, I'll step it back. The step back's important, so you're stepping back the same. It might be like right foot, left foot, right foot out, and then you're in a position. Okay, you need to know where your feet need to be for each squatting variation, so you can drill the same thing every time. And then from there, it's going to be like, all right, big breath in, lock your abs down. Bang, brace your abs really, really hard. And then it's like, all right, cool, knees out, hips up, hips back, chest out. Like, have those cues in your head of what works for you and just drill the shit out of them. Like, practice them, and you'll absolutely master the squatting variation that you're working at. Anyway, I hope those tips have helped you in some way, and you can apply them to your training and make sure that you're improving, getting stronger over time. Remember that form, in this case where you want to improve a specific technique or a specific skill, form is king. Practice your form, and over time you'll add weight to it. If you're trying to just get brutally strong and you've got shit hips that don't like squatting, it might not be the best thing for you. So that's a topic for another day. But for now, if you're trying to master the squat, absolutely focus on mastering it. Don't try and get too strong in something that you haven't earned the right to be strong at just yet. So hope that helps. If you have any questions, please feel free to hit me up below. You can comment, you can send me a message, do whatever you need to do, and I'll help you out the best way I can. For more information and more content like this, check out strengthcoachsecrets.com. New podcast coming soon. I'm super pumped about that, the Strength Coach Secrets podcast. It's going to be sick, and I hope to see you on there. But if you have any questions for me, please feel free to hit me up, and I'll do my best to help out. Talk to you soon. Bye.